Hello, my name is Claire Anya-Likachov, and I am the founder and president of STEM Mentors, a service through STEM club at Archbishop McCarthy High School in Southwest Ranches, Florida. STEM Mentors seeks to increase the number of girls participating in high school STEM clubs and activities by reaching into the community to inspire, uplift, and mentor girls in grades 4 and up by providing free, engaging programs conducted by talented and passionate high school volunteers. Surveys conducted by STEM mentors indicated most girls participating in our programs had very little to zero knowledge about STEM careers or women working in STEM fields. To help change this, the Girls Can STEM Virtual Career Symposium was initiated. Women near and far were invited to share a little about themselves and their STEM career journeys through personal videos and one-on-one interviews. Thanks to the amazing women who answered the call to help, this virtual career symposium introduces girls to everything from aviation to green jobs, technology to healthcare. Also, please be sure to stay tuned to the end of this program for links to valuable resources, such as websites with free online coding tutorials, interesting summer programs, and information about government-sponsored STEM programs. Please help STEM Mentors reach as many girls as possible by remembering to like and share this video. Thank you!
An engineer is a person specially trained to design and build machines, structures, and other things. An engineer uses math and science to solve problems. They can work in many different fields, including technology, as software engineers do. If you're asking yourself, but what is software? Simply put, software is a set of commands or instructions that tell a computer what to do. Engineers in this field apply engineering principles and knowledge of programming languages to build software solutions for end users. Hi, my name is Elena Samuel, and as a STEM mentor, I'm very interested in engineering. Today, we are very happy to learn more about jobs in this area from Christina Ramsey, a senior software engineer with Microsoft.
Everyone, my name is Christina Ramsey. I grew up in Boca Raton, Florida, and now I live in Seattle, Washington. My favorite subject in school was math, followed distantly, I think, by physics and English. And then my favorite hobby growing up was playing basketball, which I did for many, many years, travel teams, rec teams, school teams. Since moving out here, my hobbies have taken a turn to be a little bit more outdoorsy. I've spent some time camping and hiking. And then, of course, I have the nerdy things I like to do as well, like playing board games and Dungeons and Dragons with my friends. But the reason that I moved here was for work. So I moved here about 5 years ago when I started at Microsoft, where I'm now a senior software engineer. That means that I write a lot of code, which is my favorite part of my job. And it also means that I spend some time trying to figure out why my code isn't working, which is, I think, how I spend the most amount of time in my job. But I know that there's this stereotype for programmers that it's this very like solitary profession and that I can go, like weeks without talking to anybody on my team and just like coding the whole time. And that's like, absolutely not true in my experience. I work with a great team that I love collaborating with, whether we're like, debugging together and looking into things, whether I'm working with a design team to figure out, okay, what new features do we want to introduce to our product, whether I'm working with other engineers to plan out technical design and actually building out the product. And I do love my team. I think that we're a little bit unusual in that out of the 10 of us, 6 of us are women, which was a new experience for me because in the past at teams I've interned on and other teams I've been on at Microsoft, the ratio was closer to 2 or 3 women out of 10. So I think things are definitely trending in a more balanced direction, which is great. But why did I get into software engineering? It is not something that I'd planned to do, I think, my whole life, but it resonated really strongly with me when I found it. I think because I had this idea that disciplines were either technical or creative, and I kind of, liked elements of both. And what I liked about programming is that it's always felt like a puzzle to me, like I have this task or I have this bug or issue where I need to figure out how to fix it or how to build it and, where to do it, and then actually like how to write the code that, makes it behave the way I want it to. So there's definitely that technical aspect there, but there's also this creative component, underlying that as a foundation because there's no single right answer in programming. There's a million ways to get something to work, and something could always be improved even after you're done writing the feature. So obviously, the writing of code is technical, but programming itself requires this creative foundation, where you're balancing requirements and trade-offs, figuring out where and how to build, and then doing the actual building. So that is by far my favorite part of my job, that I'm just solving puzzles all day and that I'm building something new every day. and that, it's incredibly rewarding to start with, nothing, like this blank slate, and to turn it into this feature that's, completed and is ready to be used by customers and, makes a difference in the product, which is just so exciting. So I think overall, it's this programming is this perfect blend of my strengths and interests, and the building process itself is just, so fun to me. But like I said, I didn't always know that I wanted to be a software engineer. I graduated high school in 2014, and I started at Stanford University, where I wanted to major in aeroastro, which is aeronautical or astronautical engineering. And eventually I wanted to work at NASA and be an astronaut, which, to this day sounds like the coolest thing ever, but, it's obviously not the path that I went with. I took my first coding class and then my second coding class. And then, after like a year when I was looking at declaring a major, I realized I'd taken, half the CS core, and that those were the classes that I enjoyed the most, even more than the mechanical engineering classes that I'd been so excited about when I started. So I eventually, declared CS, got my bachelor's in computer science with a focus in artificial intelligence. And then I even came back another year to get my master's, which I also got in computer science, this one with a specialization in human-computer interaction. So kind of making things that are so easily usable by people, right? I interned at a couple places over my college career, like Cisco and Google and Microsoft. After I graduated, I went back to Microsoft, and the rest is history. But before I go, I do have some advice for you if you're thinking about STEM. And I think the most important thing that I could say is that it's so important to trust in yourself and to give yourself credit. Because at some point in your school career, in your college career, in your job, like, you will find yourself as the only girl in the room at some point. It happened to me all the time. And it's super common for high achieving, intelligent girls and women to feel something called imposter syndrome, which is this idea that everybody knows what they're doing but you, and that you got where you are by accident or by luck. And I need you to remember that that is not true, ever. Like, you deserve your spot in that class, at that table, in that room. Your ideas are valid, your questions are valid, and more than you give yourself credit for. And it's hard, I get that. I still feel this all the time, because the more you know, the more you understand how much you have left to learn, and then how much you don't know. But I can't stress this enough. Remember that you earned your spot, and to trust in yourself. And I think that's everything that I want to say. And so I guess I'll just sign off by saying that I want you to know that you're capable of so much, and I'm very excited for you to discover your own journeys, and I hope you enjoy them along the way. So thank you.
Software engineers can work in a variety of different industries and settings, from business to finance and military. Hello, my name is Stephanie Makaya, and as a STEM mentor, I find the projects and research about deep space very interesting. Here in Florida, we are very lucky to have the Kennedy Space Center. Since 1968, the Kennedy Space Center has been NASA's primary launch center for American spaceflight, research, and technology. NASA stands for National Aeronautics and Space Administration. NASA is a United States government agency responsible for science and technology related to air and space. Today, Hajar Boughoula, a software engineer working with NASA, will provide us a window of what her job entails and how she got there.
Hi girls, my name is Hajar Boughoula, and I'm a student collaborator with NASA's mission to Psyche. I'm a software engineer, and I wanted to talk to you about some of the work that I do and how I got here. So just like many of you, I've been passionate about STEM fields from a very young age, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do career-wise. I really loved space and coding, but I didn't know how to combine those seemingly separate fields into one career. So the first thing I did was take as many coding and math classes with IMAX as I could, because those are truly the building blocks of all STEM fields today. And then I went on to attend MIT and ASU for my degrees in software engineering, and it was there that I discovered that there are many career opportunities that actually combine my varied interests, and one of those was a student research opportunity with NASA, where I basically worked on creating and maintaining software that assists NASA researchers and scientists in analyzing data that we receive from spacecrafts that are in deep space discovery missions. So that's me, and please feel free to email me if you have any questions or if you just want to talk to another girl in STEM. I'll leave you all with a short video that explains the NASA mission I'm with and how my software comes into play. Cheers! Hi, my name is Hajar Boughoula, and I'm a student collaborator with NASA's mission to Psyche. The mission to Psyche is humanity's first journey to a metal world, an asteroid named 16 Psyche, orbiting the Sun between Mars and Jupiter. What makes the asteroid Psyche unique is that it appears to be the exposed nickel core of an early planet that would have been very similar to planet Earth if it hadn't endured collisions that rendered it a bare core. Since it's difficult to drill a hole to the center of the Earth, we are traveling to 16 Psyche to study this planetesimal core, which can help us learn more about the core of our planet. In order for NASA scientists to efficiently draw comparisons and conclusions about iron meteorites on Earth and those we might find on Psyche, they will be assisted by my project, the Iron Meteorite Database, which crawls the web for all relevant research papers on iron meteorites and uses machine learning and natural language processing to read those papers much like a human would, with the goal of extracting structured data from the unstructured language of a paper. This essentially means gathering all the data NASA scientists request from my software and presenting it in a beautiful database for easy meteorite searching.
In Florida, the field of aviation is a major supporter for tourism, one of Florida's many industries. The economic impact that aviation has is huge. That means that there are a lot of jobs available in aviation in the state of Florida. Hi, my name is Chloe Vesca, and as a STEM mentor, I am very interested in the field of aviation. Careers in aviation often range from piloting to engineering and airport operations. About 20% of the world's pilots were trained right here in Florida. Let's learn more about aviation from Katie Koch, a pilot and a shop manager at the College of Wayman right here in Broward County.
Hi, my name is Katie Koch and I'm a pilot. I started flying when I was 15. I flew for the first time all by myself when I was 16, and I earned my private pilot's license when I was 17. Afterwards, I went to school for aerospace engineering to learn about how to build aircraft, rockets, and their components. Unfortunately, 9/11 happened, which reshaped the entire aerospace industry, and I had to change careers, so I switched majors and finished college with degrees in business management. Now I work for Wayman College of Aeronautics, where we teach people how to fly, maintain aircraft, and we have a pilot shop. I became interested in working in the field of aviation because I fell in love with flying. I am working on becoming a commercial pilot, and my dream is to fly a big airplane overseas, carrying passengers and cargo. In order to become an airline pilot, you first need to learn how to fly a little airplane and earn your private pilot certificate. Then you work on your instrument rating, where you learn how to fly in all different kinds of weather, in the clouds and at night. Then you earn your commercial pilot certificate and continue to gain flight experience, either by becoming an instructor or getting another type of flying job like banner towing, light passenger and cargo flights, sightseeing tours, survey flights, or charter flights. Once you have 1,500 hours of flight experience, you can apply to the airlines. Most airline pilots can work for the airlines between the ages of 23 and 65 years old. The process of becoming an airline pilot can take as few as 2 years to complete and typically costs $80,000 to $90,000. There are many scholarship opportunities, particularly for women pilots, Black and Latino pilots, and LGBTQ+ pilots. The salary at your first airline job is now right around $90,000 to $100,000 per year. And due to the airline shortages, many companies have sign-on bonuses totaling around $30,000. Pilots with lots of experience can now earn almost $475,000 per year, with the average being around $219,000 per year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So with a relatively small investment in education, you have wonderful career opportunities as a pilot, earning back your educational investment in the first year. Most pilots fly about 80 hours per month. A full-time job is 40 hours per week. So if you think about it, being a pilot is like having a part-time job. This means it's a great career for women who want to have a family and for women who have a lot of interests or want to run a side business from home or on the road. As a pilot, you never have to bring work home because your work is to fly. You have the absolute best office view. Every day is a sunny day because you usually fly above the clouds. If you're interested in becoming a pilot, my colleagues and I would love to give you a tour of our school, explain more about the process, and help answer questions you and your parents may have. One of the great things about being a pilot is that your income depends on your experience, your flight hours, and ratings. It does not depend on your race, gender, or sexual orientation. Only about 8% of pilots are women, and I've heard about 1% of them are women of color. There is no reason for this other than our expectations of what a woman can be. So I encourage you to aim high and shoot for the sky, literally.
When driving in the car to school every day or taking advantage of the public transportation system, most people don't spend time thinking about the jobs involved in making our daily commute possible. Hello, I'm Sophia Beltran. As a STEM mentor, I am very interested in civil engineering and the inner workings of our mass transit system. We are very excited to hear from Coree Lonergan, who is the first woman to hold title of CEO and General Manager of Broward County's Transit Department.
Hello everyone, I am Claire Anya, and today I am here with Miss Lonergan. Miss Lonergan, thank you so much for joining us today. For the first question today, what is your job title, and could you please provide a brief description and explanation of your job for the girls in grades 4 through 8 who will be watching this video? For example, what types of initiatives is your department working on to benefit your local community, and etc.?
Well, first of all, let me just say I'm so thrilled to be here this morning to have an opportunity to talk to you and your colleagues. I just enjoy so much being able to share a little bit about my experience. And I'm hoping that at the end of this, I'll be able to convince some of you to consider STEM as a course of action for your future. I am the Broward County Transit General Manager and CEO. I run the second largest transit system here in Florida, which is really exciting. Miami-Dade's just a little bit bigger than us. I'm responsible for roughly a workforce of 1,300 employees. I'm also responsible for all the buses that you see out on the street all around Broward County. And I also am responsible for our paratransit service, which is a special service that we provide for people who are unable to use our traditional buses. Somebody that has a special need, that needs special service, we're able to provide direct rides for them as well. One of the things that I'm really so thrilled that I have under my area of responsibility is our Primo plan. And that plan is it's premium mobility. It's a program that's going to introduce about 200 miles of new transit service here in Broward County. And basically what it does, it's going to allow us to provide commuter rail, light rail, bus rapid transit, and high frequency bus service. So we're going to go from this, small bus agency to a multimodal entity. And this is an exciting opportunity for Broward County residents. It's particularly exciting because you and your colleagues are the future of our community. Within 15 years, we'll have a full-blown transportation network like you would see in a major city. Not as robust maybe as New York City, but we're going to do our best to get as close as we can, because at the end of the day, what we want to do is we want to take all those cars off, as many of those cars off the road, and provide an alternative that's cleaner and greener for the community.
And could you please tell us about your educational background, what your degree was focused on, the educational route you took to get to where you are today, and how that foundation has proven useful in your job?
Sure. So it's funny. I have a bachelor's of civil engineering from the University of Delaware, and I've studied my master's program at the University of Pennsylvania. So both of those two things are why I'm where I am today. So let me just talk a little bit about the engineering trajectory that I was on. So when I was about your age, maybe a little older, I was involved in a program called Prime, which was at that time a program in the city of Philadelphia and the surrounding areas to introduce young adults to STEM programs, math and science. So those of us that kind of did well in those math and science classes were invited every summer to go in and spend about 3 months on a college campus and get immersed in engineering. And I got to tell you that was a game changer for me, because up until that point, I come from a family of a very diverse family of professional folks, most of them in teaching, education, even in the ministry. And I had, steel workers, you name it. We've got everybody in our family. And so for me, there was no science or math person that I could look to as a role model to help me navigate that decision. So this was an opportunity that the school put in front of me through this program that I was able to find out about math and science. And so because of that exposure, it led to me pursuing a degree in engineering. I was lucky. I got a full scholarship to go to college, which was amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm just telling you, there's definitely some benefit to pursuing the math and sciences because we don't have enough of them in the U.S. market. And so there's a lot of programs out there that can help someone who's interested in being in one of those roles to have some of their college, if not all of it, paid for as well. So I went to college on a free ride. I took the civil engineering classes. I got to tell you, my first semester was very, very hard. But over time, it got a lot easier. And I'm just so thrilled to have been able to do that. So my senior year of college, I'm getting to the point. I know I'm going around the block a little bit. I had a professor who was teaching urban transportation planning, and he started talking about SEPTA, which is the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority. They are located, they are the transit providers in the Philadelphia area, 5-county area. So he was talking about them and some other agencies that provide transportation. And so I reached out to them. I was looking for a summer internship. I reached out and they said, yes, we do have one this year. I applied for it. I went to work in the engineering department and I was hired. And so that was a great opportunity. When I graduated, I reached back out to them and they said they were really excited to have me come back. And that started my career in transit. I did go back after graduation. I worked at SEPTA for 10 years in total. And then that kind of helped me move on. So I've worked in consulting. I've worked in the power industry. I've worked in the freight industry. And I've also worked in transit. So and healthcare, quite frankly. So I've had a full gamut of opportunities presented to me, all because I chose to work as to pursue STEM as a career.
What was it that initially interested you in this line of work, and what is your favorite part about your job?
I think my favorite part of my job is the people. I just love people, and I love working with people. And so I'm able to, support a workforce that's trying really hard every day to get buses out there for our passengers, which quite frankly, some of them don't have a choice. If it weren't for us, they wouldn't be able to, get to work or get to school or get to critical doctor's appointments. And that's why I love what I do, because not only am I here to support my team and give them what they need to get their jobs done, but I'm also able to help society and the community in terms of their journeys. So this is like the best world of all of it for me.
That's nice. Definitely. Thank you for sharing. It's been well reported also that you are the first female to have the role of general manager for Broward County Transit. Have you faced any challenges while pursuing your career? And if so, could you provide us with an example on how you overcame those challenges to get to where you are today?
Sure. I will say that I'm super excited to be the first woman to hold this role in the history of Broward County Transit. And we are about 50 years old, and so I'm the first one, and that's great. I've been the first a lot of times in my career because math and science, when I started out, was not something, particularly in engineering, a lot of women pursued. It was in my class. We only graduated 6 engineers that were women. So that wasn't a lot of us. And then when I went to work, there were only 3 of us at the company, and there were probably at that time maybe 30 or 40. So that's 10% of your workforce in this field was quite at the time, very unfortunate. Let's just put it that way. But what I can say is that I've been lucky with my career that, even though there weren't a lot of other women in my roles and in a lot of the positions that I had, I did have a lot of great male role models that kind of adopted me over time and showed me the ropes and were able to give me opportunities and expose me to concepts that really helped me propel my career. So one of the things that I always say to anybody that's, pursuing a career in anything, you will find your mentor. There will be someone out there that will help you. You just have to be open because they may not come in the same gender that you are. They may be very different. They may be not even somebody you would normally interact with, but they can add a lot of value to your career. And sometimes just listening to them can really help you. And I think when I think of the obstacles that I've had to overcome, I'm not sure that they're specific to me being a woman. I will tell you that I had to make a career choice after my daughter was born when she was roughly, in fourth and fifth grade. I had to take a step back and say, given our family situation, is this something, do I need to be home more? Or should I consider continue my career? And my choice for my family was for me to take a break. And I took a break for, about 7 years. And then I came back and I've been able to almost get to where I was before I left, but I was able to, succeed even after taking that, what I call a mommy break. And I said, one of the things when you say a challenge to me is not that, I think the challenge is being able to make those personal choices that make sense for you in your particular circumstance, and to be able to be fine with whatever that choice is and not to succumb to anybody else's norms that they think you should be doing, but having the fortitude and strength to decide what's best for you and pursue it.
That's a wonderful answer. Thank you so much. And for the next one, what advice or suggestions do you have for girls that might be interested in pursuing a career such as your own?
I will say this to you, and it's kind of similar to the way I answered the previous question because I just love this question. It is really about you believing in yourself, defining what you want to do with your life, defining what your career goals are and when you want to set them, and go for it. And not to let anybody out there tell you you can't, you shouldn't, don't. Just do what's best for you and get all the knowledge that you can, get all the education that you can, but also please keep in mind, because you may think that this is what you want to do, but 5-6 years later you say, I want to do that. It's not something for me, and you want to pivot and do something different. That's okay too. Just listen to your inner voice, believe in it, and you're special and you'll be successful.
That's fabulous advice. Thank you so much for sharing. Mrs. Koch Lonergan, thank you so much for sharing all your valuable information with us today. Many girls watching this video will definitely feel inspired to hear about your career and all that you have been through and all that you have told us about your career, and especially as the first woman in your role. That is absolutely astounding. Thank you so much for participating today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. It was such a pleasure to meet you. Best of luck. Please keep in touch.
Thank you. It was wonderful to meet you too. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Growing up in Florida, many of us spend a great deal of our time outdoors. Whether at the park, at the beach, or enjoying water sports, nature plays a huge role in our lives as Floridians. We're so lucky to live where we live in our beautiful state that brings millions of dollars in revenue through tourism. Hi, I'm Sophia Andrutrillo. As a STEM mentor, I care a lot about the environment, and the thing that we can do to protect it is to leave footprints and not trash wherever we go. Green jobs protect and preserve our state for many years to come. Here to talk with us more about environmental jobs, aka green jobs, is Samantha Olszak, a marine biologist working with Broward County's Department of Environment.
Hello, everyone. I am Claire Anya, and today I'm here with Samantha Olszak. Samantha, thank you for joining us today. Could you please introduce yourself and share for the girls who will be watching this video a little bit of information about what it is you do, your job, the department you work with, and their initiatives?
So my name is Samantha. I work for Broward County Government at the Natural Resources Division. Primarily, our program focuses on air quality and sustainability. A lot of the things that we do are outreach events. We also go to schools, basically teaching our community how important our environment is, and just making sure that we're able to communicate those things with everyone from elementary school to high school to adults and beyond. Being able to have that communication is really critical.
That's amazing. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing. Would you classify your job as a job, and if so, why? And also, do you think you could explain exactly like what a green job is for the girls watching this video that might not know?
Yeah, so one of the projects that we actually just completed is called Lead for Cities. And so we were able to get Broward County Green Certified, Lead Green Certified, as far as our initiatives for energy, transportation, the natural resources. Another thing that we're working on is our climate change action plan for 2025 to 2030. That's going to be wrapping up here in the next couple months. And so again, that covers all kinds of things that would be considered green, right? So we're talking about water conservation, waste management, energy efficiency, and then us being able to kind of be the leaders of that here in our county so that we're able to share that with the residents as well.
Wow, that's really cool. Thank you for sharing. Do you think you could tell us a little bit about your educational background and if you went to college, what your degree was focused on and how that has been useful in your job?
Yeah, so I first went to school for marine biology. I had worked with sea turtles in the past. I worked with all kinds of beach cleanup initiatives. But then I knew that after my bachelor's degree that I wasn't done. I knew there was so much more to learn. So I did a lot of chemistry. I did a lot of biology. And those classes, while they might be difficult, and I definitely struggled, and I knew that I had to find study partners, things like that. Even if they were challenging for me, I thought they were interesting, right? So just because something's a challenge doesn't mean you have to stop there. So I went ahead, and then so I got my bachelor's degree in marine biology from Florida International University. And then I went on to Nuba Southeastern University for my master's degree in marine science / environmental science. And again, covered more math, science, more chemistry. But then also got into learning about the ocean and how that ocean drive really even contributes to the weather and the climate and things like that. So it was really, really an interesting journey.
That sounds really interesting and really cool. Your job honestly sounds so cool. I mean, when I was a kid, I always thought I wanted to be a marine biologist. And honestly, I mean, so cool. It's so interesting. Thank
It
you
was
for sharing.
very cool, yeah.
What was it exactly that interested you when you were younger in this line of work? And what is your favorite thing about what you do in your job?
So what interested me in the beginning, so I actually had a teacher that came to a teacher that brought a friend to the classroom that was a marine biologist. For many years, I thought, that's the coolest thing. That's something I'll never be able to do. You see people on television and they're scuba diving and they're looking at these amazing things. And I just thought, oh, that's just something really neat that other people get to do. Until one day I signed up, right? So that's your initiative. You have to say, you know what, I'm going to raise my hand today. I'm going to be the person that they pick. I'm going to sign up for this thing. So from the beginning, I loved animals. I loved being outdoors. So that was really an inspiration for me. But then to kind of continue, it was just that challenge, kind of learning what I didn't think I could do. And then I really, really enjoy teaching it to other people. You never know who you're going to inspire. You might inspire somebody you don't even know it, and you might be the one person for the rest of their life, and they just remember, oh, that Miss Sam, I remember her. She was so awesome. She worked with air quality. She worked with sea turtles. But my favorite thing is teaching others and then hearing at the end of whatever session that I might be with, is, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's so amazing. Thank you. And what advice or suggestions do you have for girls interested in pursuing jobs focused on the environment like yours?
So I always tell my students, you can be a straight A student, you can get all A's, but you have to do a little bit more. We want to see that you are able to manage different projects. So you need to be able to do an internship. And internships, while you might not be getting paid for those, you're getting invaluable experience. And so there's so many places here across Broward County, Dade County, and Palm Beach County that you're able to volunteer or to be an intern if you want to work with animals, if you want to work outdoors, if you want to teach children, if you want to inspire others, be able to have those different opportunities. So don't just get straight A's, although those are great. You got to be able to do other things, and it's going to build your experience. And sometimes you have to put in your efforts, and that's the reward that you get back.
Yeah, for sure. When you participate in certain internships and what you're interested in, they always provide valuable, knowledge for you and experience that can contribute to, when you get older in your line of work that you want to do. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, and thank you for sharing this really valuable information. We really appreciate it. And honestly, you participating in this project will inspire so many girls that will be watching this video. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for contributing to my project.
Well, thank you for having me. And, go on and take that challenge. Be challenged.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
At its core, medicine is a science-based practice. It requires the use of innovative technology and is continuing to grow with the work of mathematicians and engineers. Hi, my name is Brianna Sapitula, and as a STEM mentor, I am very interested in the technological advancements that are taking place in the medical field today, such as robotics. The goal of robotics is to design machines that help humans. For example, many robots are built to do dangerous jobs, such as finding survivors in unstable ruins and exploring space, shipwrecks, and mines. Another popular way robots are used is in robotic surgery, also called robotic assistive surgery. This allows doctors to perform complex surgeries with more control, flexibility, and precision that isn't possible with traditional procedures. Robotic surgery is often performed with tiny incisions, but it's sometimes used in open surgeries. Today, we are fortunate enough to have Dr. Sharon BenOr, a thoracic robotic surgeon who operates on everything in the chest except for the heart. She will be joining us from Florida Atlantic University Health and will be sharing about her career path as a surgeon.
Hello, everyone. I am Claranya, and today I am here with Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben, thank you for joining us today. Could you please introduce yourself and provide a brief description and explanation of your job for the girls who will be watching this video?
Hi, my name is Sharon BenOr. I'm a general thoracic surgeon. What that means is that I operate on everything in the chest with the exception of the heart and the aorta.
Okay, wow, that's pretty interesting. And also, how does robotics play an important role in your job?
So I became involved with robotic surgery in 2010 when I first came out in practice. And I find that it helps me do a much better lymph node dissection for lung cancer. The ergonomics is amazing when compared to thoracoscopy. So you actually have movement of the wrists and everything, whereas with thoracoscopy, it's kind of just, that.
Yeah.
And so it's a great tool to use for mediastinal disease as well.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. I'm on the robotics team at my high school, so it's pretty cool to be hearing about your job today from you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And also, Dr. Sharon BenOr, Could you please tell us about your educational background, what your degree was focused on, the educational route you took to get to where you are today, and how that educational foundation has proven useful in your job?
So I did my undergraduate at the University of Pennsylvania, and I was a math major. And I was a chemistry minor, which proved to be, the math major proved to be helpful later on. There I went to the University of Pennsylvania for medical school, and then I did general surgery for 5 years, and then thoracic surgery for 3 years in training. And so math is a very logical way of thinking. You can't go to step 3 without going through step 1 and step 2. And that's how surgery is, that you can't cut corners. You have to be very logical in terms of your steps and how you take care of patients.
Yeah. Oh, that's really interesting to hear from. Were you involved in any types of clubs or activities in high school that furthered your interest or skill set with regards to your current job being a robotic surgeon? For example, like STEM clubs, maybe like a competitive math team or robotics team?
We did not have any of those when I was in high
Really?
school. Yeah,
Wow.
unfortunately.
Oh, well then, what would you say was it that initially interested you in this line of work? And what is your favorite part about your job then? If you didn't have any, exposure to like STEM clubs in high school, what interested you at first?
In terms of medicine or
Yeah, I guess you
surgery.
can say medicine, surgery.
So medicine, it was my uncle. We had a family ski trip when I was 9 years old, and we all stayed in cabin, including my aunt and uncle and my cousins, and they had skis in everyone's size except for me. So I ended up staying in the cabin with my uncle, who decided as part of his midlife crisis that he wanted to be a physician, but he first had to go to college. So he decided that the best way for him to learn was to teach me what he was learning. And that's what got me interested in medicine.
That's really
Um,
cool.
it was really cool. And I actually gave a talk a couple years ago, and I gave a shout out to my uncle and to Wisp Ski Resort. And I said, were it not for the fact that they didn't have skis my size, when my uncle was studying for my MCATs, I may have gone with my original childhood dream, which was to be the next Wonder Woman.
Oh my gosh.
So for surgery, for thoracic surgery, it actually was a clerical error. I realized I wanted to do surgery in medical school, and I wanted to spend time doing surgical oncology, so operating on the liver and pancreas. And so I applied to do a rotation at Fox Chase Cancer Center, where they did a lot of these cases every day. And someone messed up the paperwork and put me on the thoracic oncology service. And that's how I fell in love with thoracic surgery. And my first position, which was at East Carolina University, it was a big robotics center. They did a lot of robotic heart surgery. And so my first month there, the head of the Cardiovascular Institute said, I expect you to do a robotic thoracic program within the next 6 months. And
Oh,
so started doing robotic surgery after that.
it seems like everything just kind of fell into place.
Yes, it did. Very
That's
lucky for
really
that.
cool. Yeah. What would you say is the most challenging aspect of your job, and how do you work to overcome it?
I think the most challenging aspect would be having to give patients bad news.
Oh,
It's hard telling patients that they have cancer
yeah.
and go through a whole entire myriad of emotions, and you just need to let them express their emotions in a way that'll help them through it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I try to empathize with them, and I just say, look, I'm not going to pretend that I know what you're going through, but I understand these feelings of loss, of pain, of betrayal that you feel. And then patients are like, oh yeah, yeah, that helps.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that is very challenging to tell people that, they have cancer or something like that.
Yeah.
It's very challenging. Despite that, what would you say is your favorite thing about what you do in your job, like on a daily?
I would say I love teaching. I love teaching residents and medical students. It's a lot of fun. watching them, and then everything clicks, and they're like, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing. Um, what advice or suggestions do you have for girls who might be interested in pursuing medical careers such as your own?
I would say that you're going to have a lot of hurdles that you're going to have to overcome,
Yeah.
especially being a woman. And the thing is that you have to realize that you can't go after every barking dog. So you have to pick your battles, but you need to pick them wisely. And I think that having a mentor or someone to help you through it is really important.
Yeah. Especially like with the long route it is to become a practicing physician or surgeon or a doctor, and also with the amount of challenges, like you said, as a woman that you might face in medical school and beyond to get and to finish that path. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing. That's really valuable information. Dr. BenOr, thank you so much for sharing all of your information and experience with us today. Many girls watching this video will certainly feel inspired to hear about your career as a robotic surgeon. I myself am inspired because I'm on my high school's robotics team, as I had said earlier. So thank you so much for contributing towards this project. Thank you.
Thank you for letting me be a part of it. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Today we learned how robotics can play a part in medicine. These certain specific robotics technologies may help with specific areas in diagnosis and treatment, especially in the field of neurology. Hello, my name is Edward Quinto. As a STEM mentor, I am very interested in pursuing a career in medicine, especially in the field of neurology. Neurology is the branch of medicine dealing with the diagnosis and treatment of all conditions and diseases involving the nervous system, which comprises the brain and spinal cord. Today we welcome Dr. Paunel Agyei from the Cleveland Clinic in Western Florida, who will discuss her personal journey in becoming a neurologist and practicing medicine in this field.
Hello, everyone. I am Claire Anya, and today I am here with Dr. Agyei. Dr. Agyei, thank you for joining us today. Could you please introduce yourself and provide a brief description and explanation of your job for the girls who will be watching this video?
Yes, of course. My name is Paunel Agyei. I am a neurologist at the Cleveland Clinic, Florida, and I subspecialize in treating neuroinflammatory disorders such as multiple sclerosis.
Wow, that's some wonderful information. Thank you so much. Dr. Agyei, could you please tell us a bit about your educational background, what your degree was focused on, the educational route you took to get to where you are today, and how that foundation has proven useful in your job?
Yeah, so I did 4 years of undergraduate. I majored in human biology, health, and society, which is basically a major that combined social science and then biological science. And then, of course, I did a pre-med track with that degree. And then I did medical school for 4 years there. And then I did training specifically in neurology, which is my residency program. So I did 4 years, and then I did 2 additional years to focus on my area of expertise, which is multiple sclerosis. So that was a fellowship.
Wow, that's a lot. Have you faced any challenges while pursuing that really long path, and also like in your career today? And if so, could you provide us with an example and how you overcame them?
Yes, like you mentioned, it's a long journey. So, it's the biggest challenge is just staying focused and just reminding yourself of what your end goal is. So I always knew that I wanted to be a doctor. And so going through all of those steps, they're a bit tedious, but I knew at the end I would be able to do what I really enjoyed. So, just staying focused, not getting deterred, not wanting to give up, if things got hard, and, just keep pushing.
Yeah, that's really important, especially following a long path like that, always having perseverance and believing in yourself. Thank you so much for sharing. What was it that initially interested you in this line of work? And what is your favorite part about your job?
So initially I wanted to be a doctor because I was actually born with a rare birth defect that caused overgrowth with the bone and the muscle. And so because of that, I had to have a few surgeries, like growing up from the time I was a child to like my first year in high school was my last one. And so just that interaction with the medical field, I had some really great doctors. And so I wanted to do the same thing and kind of provide that type of care to my patients. And so probably like middle school or high school, I decided, I wanted to be a doctor.
That's really nice. That's great. Also, what is your favorite part about what you do in your job today?
So my favorite part is really just the interaction with patients. Patients are people like you or me. And so they come to the doctor really because there's a problem. And so I love just getting to meet people, getting to hear about their stories, and being able to step in and provide them, with any type of help or assistance that I can.
Yeah, for sure. That's really great. What advice or suggestions do you have for girls interested in pursuing medical careers such as your own?
Not do it. And I think, it's really important just having good representation in the medical field. And so, I always encourage, young girls and women to do it if that's something that you're passionate about. I think probably the best advice, if you can, find a mentor, somebody who, has experience in the field, just so you can get advice on your journey. And of course, just stay persistent, stay focused along the journey.
All right, well, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing. Dr. Agyei, thank you so much for sharing this valuable information with us today. Many girls watching this video will be inspired by your journey to becoming a neurologist and all you have accomplished pursuing your STEM career. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Another popular career path in the medical field is occupational therapy. Occupational therapy is a treatment option to help overcome physical, emotional, and social challenges. Hi, I'm Lila. I'm a 10th grade STEM mentor very interested in pursuing a path in the medical field. Many people confuse occupational therapy with physical therapy, and although they both focus on helping people, occupational therapy works on improving daily activities and daily tasks, while physical therapy works more on improving mobility and strength. We are very grateful to hear more about this topic from Nancy Lee, a certified occupational therapist in the state of Florida.
Learn to live, to grow, to find yourself, to seek opportunities, and to one day change the world.
Hi everyone. So that short clip that you just saw was me 10 years ago in high school. That statement really stuck by me because it kind of shaped who I wanted to be in the future. I always wanted to help people and make a difference in people's lives. And what better way than to work in healthcare? Credentials are OTRL. I grew up in Colorado, but I moved to the Sunshine State when I was 11 years old. I currently live in Davie, Florida. My favorite subject when I was in high school was AP Psychology. I loved the way the brain works and have been intrigued ever since. Some clubs that I participated in were Future Educators of America, Women of Tomorrow, HOSA, and many more that I can't remember at the top of my head. So I am currently a licensed registered occupational therapist. And what this profession is that we help you do the things you love and help you live your life to the fullest. So with my profession, we can work with all types of populations and settings. We are considered the #4 best healthcare jobs in the world. I currently work in a private practice with pediatrics who have developmental delays, children on the spectrum, ADHD, fine motor coordination, gross motor coordination, sensory concerns, social and emotional regulation, and much more. I am a new graduate student, so I'm considered to be an entry-level occupational therapist. I've only been working for a couple of months since passing my national board exam. Where I am currently working now is at a female veteran-owned pediatric private practice serving babies, toddlers, children, adolescents, and young adults. Currently, my office only has female employees. Some memorable experiences I've had working at this private practice is working with the children and being able to think creatively throughout our sessions. So in high school, I've always wanted to be in the medical field, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do. Most people who have thought about a career in occupational therapy have been wanting to be a physical therapist. So I was in between those careers. It was not until I shadowed an OT and I realized how much I do really like helping people. So we help people in all aspects of their lives, whether in whether it's in their daily living or doing the things they weren't able to do, and we help them find ways on modifying their environment or using their current skills to adapt to their new reality. When I got into college, I stuck to primarily science courses that would help me get into either OT or PT school. I knew I didn't like math, so the more I looked into OT, I knew this had to be the right choice for graduate school because in OT, we really don't use that much math, just the basic skills. So, the most challenging aspects of my job is learning how to manage behaviors that become too intense. However, the most rewarding aspects are working with my wonderful colleagues and collaborating on making a difference in each individual that we encounter. I love this profession because it provides a great work life balance as well as gives you the creativity to think outside the box when working with each patient. So, I attended FIU in Florida for my bachelor's degree in sports management and recreational therapy, and I applied to my master's program at Nova Southeastern University, and I obtained a master's of occupational therapy degree. Prior to this, you need to have over a certain amount of observation hours and prerequisites in order to be considered a potential applicant. So, some advice I would give to future students wanting to pursue this career is to always ask questions and do research on what school you might be interested in. There are so many resources out there, or even reaching out to observe an OT for a day or even just an hour. That can give you ways to explore if you like this career or if you want to work in the health field. All right, bye.
Information technology, IT for short, is the use of computer systems to manage, process, protect, and exchange information. Hello, my name is Kayla. As a STEM mentor, I am happy to talk to you about information technology. There are many careers that fall under the umbrella of information technology, but here in Florida, two of the most in-demand jobs can be found in two specific areas. The first area is called artificial intelligence, or AI for short. Artificial intelligence is a type of computer science that focuses on designing machines capable of performing tasks generally associated with human intelligence. For example, in healthcare, scientists may study how they can create smart machines to diagnose conditions.
Another area of IT that is very high in demand is the field of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity jobs focus on protecting computer systems and networks from threats. Hello, my name is Carla Makaya, and as a STEM mentor, I am very interested in the field of information technology. In the United States, there are 94 operating nuclear power plants providing 20% of our nation's electrical use. When you think of cybersecurity, think of nuclear power plants. Cybersecurity jobs in this area are responsible for keeping our country safe.
As our final career ambassador today, we're extremely lucky to have Grace Kurian join us to share her experience working in STEM. Grace Kurian is currently the Vice President of Information Technology, Infrastructure, and Operations of Florida Power and Light Company, FPL, the largest power utility in Florida, and the principal subsidiary of NextEra Energy, which is the largest power company in the United States.
We are here today joined by Grace Kurian, Vice President of Information Technology at NextEra Energy. Grace, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. Really excited to have this conversation with you, Jordan.
Great. Well, we're here. We're going to talk about STEM. We're going to talk about what brought you here to your current role and learn a little bit more about you along the way. So we're here in South Florida. Talk a little bit about where you grew up and what brought you here.
Yeah, so I was born in India. I came to the United States when I was 7 years old, and I have spent the majority of my life right here in South Florida since elementary school. Grew up in Broward County. I had a plan with my life, and that was to become an accountant because I loved math. And so I went to college, majored in accounting. Plans were to become a CPA. Life took a different turn, and I landed my first job as an information technology programmer at a global consulting firm called Accenture. And that is how I started my IT career.
So you have this love for math, and that's probably with you in high school. Does that go with you into college, or did you change your ideas of where you wanted to go and the different careers you wanted to have once you got into college?
It started tweaking a little bit more. So I got really interested in all things business related. Spent a lot of time in the business school in college, loved information systems, loved marketing in addition to accounting. So I continued. My core was all about the numbers and the analytics, but started liking business more broadly.
Where we're at now, here at NextEra Energy.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about your current job title and role and what you love the most working here.
Yeah, absolutely. NextEra Energy is the world's largest generator of wind and solar power. I am in the information technology organization. And in information technology, there are functions around managing all of the enterprise functions that power the business applications and software that end users use. My team of men and women across the state and across the country really power that. Everything from the IT service desks to telecommunications to our data center and cloud services to the radio infrastructure that our crews use when they're restoring power to talk back to our field offices.
When we start to think about, AI and say generative AI and the exposure that has had over the past year and the interest that it's drawn from so many different business sectors, what do you think that means to young people and young women who are looking at STEM and perhaps seeing it in a different light and are very interested in maybe pursuing a path in this type of field? What do you say to them about how to kind of get started?
So I really think that it is an exciting time for people who love technology, people who want to pursue a career in technology. We really are in a time where I would almost call it the technology revolution. I remember a time when flip phones were really cool. Now we've got iPads and iPhones, which are literal computers at your fingertips, whether you're at home, in the school, or traveling somewhere. So I see generative AI as another tool that really amplifies the information that's available to us. So I think the possibilities are endless. Maybe just asking the question of what's a problem that technology can solve or make life easier. That's truly what's happening, is technology is making our life easier and more efficient, so that we spend our time doing more complex work.
When you think about, let's say, your high school self, if you could send a message back in time, what would you tell the younger version of yourself?
A couple of things. Make sure you stop and have fun. That is an important part of high school and your school years. The second is, I really think that being successful in any work environment is not only about being academically strong and getting good grades, but being a good team player. So think about how you are able to gain experiences through sports activities, through extracurricular activities, so you know what's available in the community, because truly being a professional is about working with teammates like yourself, in addition to having the knowledge and the competency to actually do your work.
Grace, it's been a pleasure. I'm sure those watching are going to be thankful for all the advice and the guidance, and congratulations on everything you've achieved and everything that you will achieve.
Well, thank you so much. It's been great talking to you, Jordan.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of our amazing career ambassadors for their valuable contributions to this virtual STEM Career Symposium. If you are interested in learning more about STEM but might not know where to start, we wanted to share the following suggestions and links to valuable resources, many of which are free.
The first thing you should do right away is look into extracurricular activities available to you through school or in your community. A great way to start would be to join clubs at school. Most school-based clubs do not require you to have any experience. Curiosity and passion to learning is enough. School clubs are the #1 best place to do that, while making new friends and valuable mentors in the process. Don't be afraid to ask your teachers or your school guidance counselors for advice. If you are homeschooled, look into joining the public school clubs and teams in your area. Public schools and religious-based schools often have openings available to homeschoolers. You just need to ask advice on what the steps are to do that.
Another great way to experience STEM is to consider using your summer break to pick up new skills. You can learn how to code or brush up on your math skills. Robotics camps are also a fun way to spend your summer. There are many different programs offered throughout the summer, and many are also available online, so you never have to leave the comfort of your own home. For over 30 years, IMAX, Institute of Math and Computer Science, has been offering unique programs here in South Florida, but after COVID, IMAX classes are now 100% online with students logging in from all over the world. I know this because I have been an IMAX student since 4th grade. IMAX president and co-founder, Terry Kaufman, wants all girls watching this video to know that many amazing accomplishments have been made by girls who have gone through their program, like Hajar Boughoula, one of our featured career ambassadors. Yes, girls can STEM. For more information on the programs currently being offered by IMAX, please check out the link provided. If you are curious about coding or have free time you'd like to fill, but don't want to commit to a summer program, there are free websites you can utilize to play with code, including free tutorials to help guide you through the basics, such as Northwestern University's NetLogo. NetLogo is a great free resource for those just starting out on their coding journey. Anyone interested in learning more can access NetLogo at the link provided.
If you are in middle school, consider looking into the Navy's Summer STEM program. Naval Summer STEM is an exciting residential 5-day program offered to students beginning the summer after graduating 8th grade. At Summer STEM, you get to experience the living on the campus of the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, while participating in hands-on projects and classes taught by some of the best teachers in the world. Naval STEM seeks to increase the number of students earning STEM degrees in college by exposing students early on to many different STEM fields. Naval STEM Summer Program is offered to rising 9th, 10th, and 11th graders, and for rising 12th graders interested in a career in the Navy and applying to the United States Naval Academy. They offer the Summer Seminar.
I participated in the Naval Summer STEM program after homeschooling from grades 3rd through 8th. So if you were watching this in homeschooling, yes, homeschoolers can apply too. While I was a little nervous about the idea of attending a residential program far away from home, I knew it would be an amazing growth experience. I highly recommend all girls watching this video to consider applying for a summer program offered through the Navy and Army. Don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone and try new things. If you are interested in learning more about programs offered by the Navy and Army, please visit the links provided. Need-based stipends to help cover the cost of these programs are available to those who qualify. Here is a picture of me in front of the Bancroft Hall on the USNA campus. Bancroft Hall is one of the largest dorms in the United States. If you apply to the Naval Summer STEM, this is where you'll be staying. Girls interested or curious about engineering, please take a moment to look into the SWE Next organization online. The Society of Women Engineers website is a great resource to find clubs, programs, and events near you. STEM Mentors is a proud member of SWE Next. Learn more at the link provided.
The National Society of Black Engineers is committed to creating pathways of opportunities and success in STEM. If you or someone you know is interested in applying for their free 3-week summer engineering experience for kids, known as Psyche, you can access their website and apply at the link provided. The Psyche Summer Program is designed to stimulate interest in STEM. Please be sure to check it out.
Another great online resource for everything STEM is the USA Science and Engineering Festival website. XSTEM All Access is a free, on-demand series for middle and high schoolers designed to get students excited about STEM. Students will get an inside look into the exciting careers and inspiring personal journeys of diverse STEM role models. The 30-minute max episodes will premiere throughout the school year and will be available on demand to fit into your schedule. To register or learn more, visit the link provided.
This brings us to the close of this STEM Career Symposium, but before we go, consider this. STEM jobs in the United States are in very high demand, with a shortage of qualified candidates to fill these positions. The United States Department of Defense Smart Scholarship Program is available to qualified candidates and includes paid college internships with on-job training, and a guaranteed job when you graduate college. If you are interested in STEM as a career choice or want to learn more about the opportunities available to you within the Department of Defense, please read more at the website link provided.
In closing, consider the words of advice offered by Stephanie Gill, computer scientist and Harvard Associate Professor. When asked how important she thinks STEM jobs will be to the future of this country and why, she offered the following words for all of you to consider. Very important. STEM gives you tools to create new knowledge, to understand why things work the way they do, and to control the physical world around you. Achieving a command of these tools allows you to literally create new realities. There is nothing else like that.
Professor Stephanie Gill offers the following words of advice and encouragement to all girls watching this video. Be curious. Be curious about the world around you and the people around you. Why do things work the way they do? Curiosity is the antidote to fear, and sometimes to achieve what you would really like to achieve, you will encounter fear. That is okay. That is natural, but remind yourself why you are doing this in the first place. Keep that sense of curiosity at the forefront of your journey.
Thank you for participating in the STEM Mentors Girls Can STEM Virtual Career Symposium. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Remember to seek out mentors wherever you are to help you on your STEM journey. If you would like to learn more about the STEM Mentors Club at Archbishop McCarthy High School or the free service through STEM programs we are currently offering in our community, please reach out to us. And don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with as many people as you can. Thank you.